It's one of the most daring engineering projects the world has ever seen. A massive island built from sand and rock, with threats of earthquakes, violent storms, and erosion from the sea. It'll be a miracle if this palm megastructure survives. August 2001. The Persian Gulf is a massive activity. Dubai is building one of the biggest man-made islands in the world. Engineers have a daunting task ahead of them because this is a construction like no other. All structures stand in defiance of nature. Most are built from concrete and steel, materials that are artificially strengthened. But this massive island is being constructed out at sea, using only natural materials, sand and rock. And both start eroding the moment they hit the water. For project manager Bob Berger, it's a daunting task.
Any construction is in defiance to nature, and this is an extreme example of that. Every day, we're trying to prevent the destruction of what we built.
The Middle East, Dubai, the jewel of the Arab world. A kingdom built on the profits of its oil reserves. This tiny emirate, the size of the state of Rhode Island, is one of the richest places in the Arab world, but it hasn't always been like this. 50 years ago, Dubai was a trading town built on a creek. Over half a century later, it's been transformed. Now it's famous for gold, trade, and oil. But there's a problem on the horizon. By 2016, the oil will have run out. It'll mean disaster for the economy. Dubai must find a new source of income. The Crown Prince, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, has a $2 billion plan to save his country. He's ordered his kingdom to transform itself into the world's #1 luxury tourist destination, and the Crown Prince has a history of getting what he wants. To put Dubai on the map, he's already built one of the most luxurious hotels in the world, the Burj Al Arab, created first-class golf and race courses, and is planning the world's tallest building. But now, the Crown Prince's big idea is mass tourism, and Dubai seems the perfect spot. It offers sun almost every day of the year, glorious beaches and azure seas. 5 million tourists visit here annually, and they want to triple this to 15 million. But there's a problem. The coastline is only 44 miles long, not enough space for all these extra people. The Crown Prince's plan is to build a massive island, and he wants it done by 2006. And what better for a paradise island than the shape of a palm tree? 3.5 miles across, it increases the coastline by a whopping 35 miles, 9 times more beachfront than the circular island. But no one has ever built an island this size and shape before.
When I first heard of this project, I couldn't believe it. I thought it's incredible.
The extraordinary plan is to build a city at sea. Palm Jumeirah will be covered with luxury villas, shopping malls, and restaurants. The crescent-shaped breakwater linked to the palm by a tunnel will hold 22 hotels. The easiest way to build such a massive structure at sea is to use concrete and steel, but this doesn't fit with the Crown Prince's plans. His idea creates an added challenge. To blend in with its surroundings, the island must be made entirely from natural materials. The palm-shaped island will be made only from sand, 123 million cubic yards of it. All that protects this from the sea will be a breakwater, using 7.2 million cubic yards of rock. Together, there's enough sand and rock to build a 7.5-foot-high wall circling the entire world.
This may be the only place in the world where something like this could be done, to have the vision and then the courage to carry it through.
To make this plan a reality, Dubai needs the best engineers on the planet. A worldwide search leads to Northern Europe and Holland. Experts in land reclamation, the Dutch have increased Holland's landmass by 35%. The Dutch team is immediately booked for the job. The first thing they have to prove is that it's possible to build an island out in the Persian Gulf and that it'll stay there. They know the only way to keep the island in position is to surround it by a breakwater. But just how big does the sea defense need to be? To find out, researchers must calculate the strength of Dubai storms, the height of the waves and tidal surges, and what effect global warming will have in raising the sea level. The biggest fear for all coastal engineers is massive freak waves. These waves build up over long distances, pushed by persistent winds and large currents. They destroy nearly everything in their path. But the island builders are lucky. The research team has figured out that the Persian Gulf is the perfect place to build this megastructure. On average, the Gulf is only 100 feet deep and 100 miles wide. It's too short and too shallow for catastrophic waves to build up. But the team knows they will get Shamal storms. Every winter, these intense northerly storms bring high winds and 6-foot waves that will batter the structure. Researchers must also factor in the worst-case scenario, the storm that hits once in 100 years. The team does the final calculations. To protect this fragile island, the breakwater must be at least 10 feet high above the waves and 7 miles long. But just when the engineers thought they were ahead, they're given another challenge. The developers in charge of this mega structure want to start construction immediately before the research is complete. It's a huge gamble that could come back to bite them. If they don't have it right, the whole structure could be washed away. August 2001, the breakwater construction team takes to the sea. They have only 2 years to build the massive 7-mile seawall. But just as they get started, disaster strikes. September 11th, 2001. The World Trade Center in New York is attacked in a brutal act of terrorism. Overnight, tourism to the Middle East stops. But work has already started on the Palm Island. Will millions of dollars and months of research go to waste? Megastructures, Impossible Islands will return to Megastructures, Impossible Islands. September 2001. In the wake of terrorist attacks in the United States, travel abroad halts abruptly. Fear and panic spreads. People are too frightened to travel, particularly to the Middle East. It could have disastrous consequences for Dubai's ambitious plans. Work has already begun on building one of the biggest man-made structures in the world. Palm Jumeirah, an island that will transform Dubai into a world-class holiday destination. The massive 7-mile breakwater is under construction. Both the breakwater team and the Palm Island team are assembled to make the dream a reality, but 9/11 throws the plans into turmoil. 1,200 engineers fear their lives could be in danger. They make contingency plans to leave the country. In the meantime, they're advised not to go into Western hotels and bars. Business slumps. Beaches are empty, restaurants deserted. No one wants to be here. For 3 months, Dubai grinds to a halt. The sun is setting on the Middle East's tourist industry. But the job must carry on, whatever the political climate. The oil reserves are running out. The Crown Prince stands firm. Developers are now committed to the build. Millions of dollars have been spent hiring the world's top reclamation engineers.